Good morning, dear students. How are you? I hope you all are doing well and ready for today's session, isn't it? So, before we start today's session, let us do a quick recap of what we have done in the last class. So, let's start the class.
Dear children, in the last class we have learned about how to name a sheet tab and how to change color of a sheet tab, isn't it? So, dear children, how to name a sheet tab? The steps are you just have to right click on the particular tab, sheet tab in the worksheet. Then what happened? A shortcut menu will appear. After that, we have to click on the rename option, isn't it? Then the cursor will appear in the sheet tab. Then you have to type the name which you want to give to the sheet, isn't it? After you have given the particular name, what you will do? You will just have to press the enter key, isn't it? Then, dear children, how to change the color of a sheet tab? It's just simple, two step, isn't it? How? First, you have to right click on the particular sheet tab and you have to select the tab color option from the shortcut menu, isn't it? After that, you have to select any color from the displayed choices and you have to observe the changes, isn't it? Dear children, today we are going to do two new topics. Alright, first one is functions, second one is rules to enter a function. Okay, so let's start. First of all, what is a function or what are functions? So dear children, functions are pre-designed formulas in Excel to perform both simple and complex calculations. Alright, and dear children, please remember that a formula accepts arguments and return values. Now what are arguments? Arguments are nothing but input to functions which accept values as numbers or text, and the values are given within the parenthesis. Then just remember that return values display the function output. Alright, now what does the function output contain? The return value. Okay, I hope all of you have understood the concept of functions, isn't it? Now let us understand the different rules to enter a function. First of all, number one, as you have already learned, all the Excel function must begin with the equal to symbol. Alright, just remember that any function, okay, whenever you write a function, you should begin with the equal to symbol. This is the most important thing which you should remember. Okay, now the next one, function name must be a valid Excel name. Okay, rule number 2 says function name must be a valid Excel name. For example, some functions you have already done, isn't it? Remember, we have done sum. Now, what is a sum? Sum is used for adding the values of a particular range, isn't it? Now, as we have said that Excel function name must be a valid name, valid Excel name. So this is a valid Excel name. As we will move on with the class, we will learn few more function names. Alright. Then point number 3 or rule number 3. Function name must be followed by opening and closing parenthesis. Okay. Now for example, say if you want to add the values of cell address from C4 to C6. What I am saying, you want to add the values within the range C4 to C6. So how we will write? The first rule says any function must begin with equal to symbol. So you have to give equal to symbol, isn't it? Then function name you have to mention. For example, say sum, because you are going to perform addition, isn't it? So sum. Then the third rule says that the function name must be followed by opening and closing parenthesis, isn't it? Now, what does this parenthesis will contain? It will contain arguments, isn't it? Now, what type of arguments? A sum function contains range. Okay, what is the range? What do we have said that we want to add the values from cell address C4 to C6. So the argument will be what? A particular range. So C4 colon C6. Isn't it? So this is the final function which you should write. And this function is a valid function based on the 4 rules to enter a function. Okay, I hope all of you are clear, isn't it? Now let us learn few functions and their purposes. Okay, so the first one we have already learned, sum. Now sum function is used to add the values of a particular range. Okay, so the purpose is what? Give the sum of a range. Then function number 2, average, then within the bracket or within the parenthesis you will give the range, isn't it? And what is the purpose of this function? It finds the average of a range. Alright, then function number 3, odd, then within the parenthesis you will provide the number. Then what is the purpose? Returns the number rounded up to the nearest odd integer. Okay, again I am repeating. This function, odd function, returns the number rounded up to the nearest odd integer. Okay, then function number 4, int number. Okay, int number. Now, int function rounds up a number to the nearest integer. Okay, int function rounds a number to the nearest integer. Alright, now function number 5, product, and the argument is range. Okay, now what does this product function will do? As the name says, multiplies the values in a range of cell. Okay, it will multiplies the values in a range of cell. Then function number 6, round, and within the parenthesis you will give the number as well as the number of digits. Now what does this will do? This function will rounds a number to a specified digit. Okay, it will round a number to the specified digit. Then function number 7, exp number. Okay, now exp means exponent. Okay, and within the parenthesis the argument will be number. Now what does this function will do? This will return natural logarithm. This function will return the natural logarithm raised to the power of a number. Alright, then function number 8, sqrt number, that means square root. Alright, so this function will return a square root of a given number. Okay, then next one, function number 9, power, and the arguments are number and power. What is the purpose? It will return the result of a number raised to some power. Alright, then function number 10, mod number divisor. Now mod means modulus. Alright, and this function will return the remainder after a number is divided by the divisor. Always remember that it will return the remainder. Okay, all of you are clear? I hope all of you are clear with all the functions, isn't it? Now, let us summarize whatever we have learned today. First of all, we have learned about functions, isn't it? So, what are functions? Functions are pre-designed formula in Excel which will perform both simple and complex calculations, isn't it? And a function accept what? It accept arguments and return the values, isn't it? Now what are arguments? Arguments are input to functions which accept values as numbers or text, and the values are given within the parenthesis, isn't it? Now what does the return value display? Return value display the function output. Alright. Then we have learned the rules to enter a function. How many rules are there? There are 4 rules. What are they? Number 1, all Excel function must begin with equal to sign. Number 2, function name must be a valid Excel name. For example, sum, average, odd, int, product, etc. Okay. Then what is the Rule number three says that a function must be followed by opening and closing parenthesis. Alright. Then finally, rule number four says that parentheses contain arguments within it. For example, if we want to add the values within the range of the cell address A1 to A5, the formula will be what? The function will be equal to sum, and within the parenthesis we have to give the argument, that is the cell address A1 is to A5, isn't it? Yes or no, dear children? I hope all of you are clear with the rules to enter a function, isn't it? Then we have learned about different functions, and we have learned about 10 different functions. What are they? Number one, sum. Number two, average. Number three, odd. Number four, int. Number five, product. Number six, round. Number seven, exponent, or you can see exp. Number eight, sqrt or square root. Number nine, power, and number 10, mod. Mod. All right.
So, dear children, I hope that you all are clear with today's subjective, isn't it? So, with this, finally, I'll end today's session by saying, dear children, enjoy your online classes. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.